Okay, good morning, everyone. Good morning to those that will be watching the replay, to those that will join us soon. I've said my good morning. We have just 30 minutes and we have two amazing guests that would like to talk to about teacher training in Nigeria, especially regarding dyslexia. Now, okay, I'm Blessing Ingyape, the dyslexia coach. For someone who is just meeting me here for the first time, that is who I am. I'm passionate about children with dyslexia. I love to teach them, offer intervention for them. I love to create awareness, let the society know more about what dyslexia is. And most importantly, I also love to add this same knowledge I have to other teachers so that they can also do it. Because research tells us that 1 in 5 children have dyslexia, actually 1 in 5 people. So that means in every classroom we have a student who has dyslexia. What that also means that we need lots of teachers to be aware of what dyslexia is. And today we're going to be talking about that aspect. If you're in Nigeria, is it possible to get trained? How do you get trained? How does that work? And we have two amazing teachers here today who will be talking to us about this. So I'm going to go ahead and invite them over. Yeah, I have Happiness and I have Mr. D. Although Mr. D, okay, so I was going to tell you to correct this yesterday, but we'll continue like that. Let me add Happiness.
Good morning.
Happiness.
Good
Mrs. Happiness.
morning.
Good morning. Let me add Mr. D up with a dash.
Yes, good morning, madam.
Good morning. Welcome, everyone. How are you all doing today?
Fine, you're good.
Okay, all
Very
behaving.
well.
Good morning, happiness. Good morning, madam. Blessing.
Good morning, Esther.
All right, welcome, welcome, welcome.
Good
Uh,
morning, ma.
you and our Facebook friends that have joined us that I can't see you yet. Thank you for joining us. Okay, so Happiness, I know you've been house education for a very long time since you were a teenager. You know,
Yeah.
you're out saying I want to be a teacher. You know, in Nigeria, it can be coming. Yeah. With you. In Nigeria, it can be quite hard. I don't think only in Nigeria, probably around the world, it can be quite hard to find people who want to be teachers. You being very passionate about teaching at early age, you've been teaching professionally for over 8 years and became a private tutor, and now you've added the caps of dyslexia training on your head. But before then, let's talk about your experience during the 8 years of training before you got to know about dyslexia. What was it like? Did you notice some kids struggling during those 8 years? You started, and what do you think the problem was before you knew what dyslexia was? So just be sincere with us. Yeah, how was it like those 8 years? Did you see kids struggling? What was your mindset? Do you think they were lazy? Just talk to us.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, can you hear me, please?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I'm kind of frozen at my end. Okay. All right. Like I said, I started this as a teenager. Starting off that for being a certified teacher was 8 years ago. But I started off, I had this interest right from when I was a teenager, bringing up kids together. Oh, can you spell this? Can you do that? But I really don't know how to, if there were rules governing the spelling pattern or whatever until I got into the educational system. And it was a bigger struggle, let me call it that way, because I didn't understand some terms and all that. I know I've been with you for like 3 years now on Facebook. I saw you as a friend of Facebook. I think we started from Head Start Africa. Then I was just asking you questions. How do you do this? How do you do that? Because when I went into the classroom, it wasn't easy. seeing your kids have to struggle to write, seeing your kids have to struggle to spell, seeing your kids have to struggle to sound out words, and even some letters like the B and D, telling me that this is B, this is D, was also a struggle. So I had to make research and also trying to follow you, being consistent with your programs and all that. That was actually what exposed me into the different patterns that I could get to actually help these children in class. It was really a tough time, sincerely. It was more than getting to know Jollyphonics and the rest of them. You have to have follow the rules. You have to get an expert to guide you through, because even some research are not genuine. So the expert has to tell you the genuine ones that you have to follow through and all that. So it was really a big struggle, and I struggled with it until I had to take it as my own personal. I must get solution to this, and that's when I came to you and you told me how to go about it, and I'm happy I did. I'm happy I did.
Experience with us. Okay, okay, so Mr. Dominic, talk to us about okay, why am I echoing?
Okay.
Why am I echoing? Am I echoing? Am I echoing? Am I echoing?
I didn't get that
Am I
clearly.
echoing? Am I echoing?
Yes,
I'm
you
hearing
are. We can hear you now.
okay, I'm hearing myself though.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, I'm hearing myself though.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, now
Please, can you take your question again?
first and then I'll take again. Okay, so I was saying that how's your own experience been like while teaching for this number of years you've been teaching because you're a mathematics teacher? Have you noticed kids that struggled more than other kids? As in, and you were like, no, this is not normal because I know you're a good teacher and you love your kids. So are there points where you were sincerely teaching from your heart, but it just seemed like there were some particular students that were not getting it? Did you experience that?
A whole lot, madam. A whole lot. What? First of all, thanks for this opportunity to share. Teaching maths has been my hobby, and in fact, I didn't know I was going to end up as a teacher. I just did it for fun until people kept telling me, "You can do it, you can do this," and all of that. Then teaching maths, it's actually on a different level when you're teaching someone that is having dyscalculia, for instance, or not even that, having dyslexia, because the child may be good in maths and not good in writing or not good in comprehension, may know the normal figures, 2, 5, blah, blah, blah. But when the child goes to the next level, where you have to make the question a bit logical, where you have to bring in word problems, make them in sentences, you discover that there were some that would just act as if you had not taught them at all. So it was very, very slow. At first, I thought it was just them not liking maths. But with time, I got to see that it wasn't an issue of not liking maths. It was an issue of them not being able to comprehend what they wanted. And when you think you are good to an extent, and then you get to a stage where you can't cope, you even lose interest. That's what I faced at.
Okay. Okay. Wow. Okay. Thank you so much. Okay. Wow. Okay. Thank you so much. Okay, so happiness. When was the first time you heard the word dyslexia? Sorry. Yeah, I
Last two
just
years. Okay.
okay, what
I heard about dyslexia last 2 years. Last 3 years, yes. For the first
where
time.
what were you looking for?
When you are doing your Tuesday tonic with John Obidi, and that's when you get to talk about learning difference and the rest. So that's where I got to know about
Okay, wow.
dyslexia. Yes.
So let me ask Dominic too first. Dominic, when was the first time you heard the word dyslexia? Dominic, when was the first time you heard the word dyslexia?
About 3 years ago, when I was watching a program on Channels TV, but sincerely, I didn't know what it meant until I started experiencing it with one or two children. In fact, I had been experiencing it, but I didn't know until someone called my attention to a child just about a year, 6 months ago.
Wow. Wow. Okay. We're going to talk more about that. We're going to talk more about that. Okay. So, okay, this is just for 30 minutes. We try to round up. Let's talk about how your journey has been in learning about dyslexia. Yes, because I know that you enrolled for the dyslexia training. Okay, not recently. That was last year, and you've rounded up now. So, why were you interested in learning about this? And how was it possible for you to even get to know about dyslexia? Have I unmuted you? Okay. Can
Hello?
you hear me? Happiness?
Yes, I can. Okay, yes, I can. Okay.
Yeah.
Like I said in the first question you asked, while I was in school, um, when I saw this child, I didn't understand what it meant because I just saw the child couldn't read. I saw the child couldn't sound out words, letters, doesn't know her phonics and all that. So it was a big struggle for me because I also didn't know all my sounds. That's the truth. But I had to learn because of that particular child. Actually, there were two in class, but the other one wasn't that pronounced like the child I was taking. Now, luckily for me, she was now in after school, and I was assigned as a teacher to take her up in her lessons. Now, it wasn't that easy for me because I didn't understand that she had dyslexia. We were just taking it like, oh, intervention. She doesn't know her sounds. After she knows her sound, she'll be able to spell out her words perfectly. But it didn't just happen like that. Even up to now, it's still taking a process for her to be able to do especially big vocabularies that she can't even sound out. Maybe when the syllables are more than five, it's so difficult for them at that stage because the more you're getting advanced, the more you're meeting bigger words. So I had to, even with all the research I had to do, I had to. That's why I had to take up this training, and the training has really exposed me to a whole lot of things. I'm not even gotten to where I really want to be. I sincerely, I'm not gotten to where I really want to be because I'm still positioning myself to learn more because there's the phase in this training that you start asking questions. But I'm getting it this way. How do I you know, sorry, the other way. And I got to know in this training too that accommodations are also acceptable. But you get to schools that some schools don't even know what accommodations are. So all these things, the training has really exposed me to, get some words. Like you have good, you have good. Ooh. Now some of us will say is uh d. But you know that there are phonemes that sound, that there are vowel pairs that sound differently. So you have to give the child different rules that will aid the child to, pronounce or sound out some words. So I think the training has really exposed me to a lot. Even the assessment, I've not gotten to that training, but I'm still going to get to that assessment training and the rest of them. There are a whole lot, and I wish that we could have different parts because as you're going on, there are so many things that are coming out and all that. But I'm really happy I really joined this get trained at this. To me, is a first stage of my life. I've not gotten there yet because I'm still having some difficult. So I'm really, and I really want to encourage everyone out there. It's not just by what you read or what you research on. you need an expert to take you on this path, because the more you're going for a learning difference, it needs a lot. You need to know a lot to be able to dish out to that child, so you won't have to break down while you're teaching. So I really want to encourage every educator, every parent, because not just by educate. I have a child. I have someone taking care of my child. She's also dyslexic. I didn't know about that until
Wow.
when she came to my house, and I had to be taking her on this training. She has not gotten there yet, but I believe that since she has come to where someone has even had an experience, I'm sure she's going to get better. She doesn't know jack about alphabet, and she said she was in JS1 when she was in her village. So I really, so she has to go through her alphabet again, identify them, and also the sound them out. And I'm so happy now that she can at least two-letter words, three-letter words. She's getting there, and all that. So I think the training is a whole lot, and I'm really happy that I got on this train. I'm really happy about that.
Thank you so much,
Thank you so
Happiness.
much.
Ms. Happiness mentioned something very profound about spelling rules. Now, when it comes to dyslexia, not just by teaching three-letter word, four-letter word, five-letter word, and then jumping. It has to be practical. They have to
Yes.
understand why the word is pronounced this particular way. And that's where structural learning comes in. And that's where the spelling rules come in. And they can tell you why a word is like this. And she mentioned the importance of mentorship and having a community that can support you. That is very, very important. Mentorship and a community that can support you, because it gets to a point that sometimes you're so overwhelmed, but you need a community, you need mentorship to remind you that this is possible and this is another creative way that you can take. Thank you so much, Happiness. Okay, so
Thank
as we
you.
wrap up, that Dominic, I love. Okay, let me hear myself. When I ask my question, yes, I love your story so much because it was actually a parent that reached out to me and said, "See, I want a teacher in my child's school. I don't know if it's a former school or a present school to get trained." And I was like, wow. I mean, for a parent to say, I want to pay for a teacher to get trained, it means that one, she knows you're passionate and she knows that you truly love the kids you teach and you put in all of your energy into it. So first, that's a big plus, and I want to applaud you for that. So you tell us about your passion for children, and then finally, you've also been a part of this training. What has the dyslexia training with Dyslexia Help Africa opened your eyes to see as we round up?
Okay, thank you, Madam Blessing. I must start by saying thanks to her for ensuring that I joined this team. Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and
Can you
clear.
hear me? Okay,
Yes.
I must start by saying thanks to her and may God bless her, because in fact I didn't know much about dyslexia, until she reached out to you and told me there was a community that could help, because I kept asking questions. I think that was what pushed her. I kept asking her, how can I help this child to be better than this? What do I need to know? Was there a health challenge? Blah 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 blah. But it boils down to knowledge. Knowledge is very important, and without knowledge we can't help children. So it means that as we need mentorship, we need people around, we need a community that can help us. And people don't know much about this. And because they don't know much about it, they can't help it. And we, even when we want to help, we won't be able to help well. So my journey through the training sincerely has been nice. I must thank my classmates. I must thank you, because everybody made me to come this far. Sincerely, I think the struggle was when we started learning the phonemes, when we started learning the diagrams and all of that. Oh, at some point, I would be sincere to say I felt like dropping out, but something kept pushing me, and that was my desire to make sure that I can help children with this case do better. That was what kept me going on. That was what made me to have a push to really learn. Then back to the training. You see, the training was really nice, and I know a lot more than I used to know now. Initially, if I see a child with such a case, I would just think the child was being lazy. But Dyslexia Help Africa has helped me to see that it is not about being lazy. It is that this person has a difficulty that we shouldn't even call a challenge, a difficulty that can be helped, a difficulty that can be correct, that can be assisted. And I've noticed that most of them, at least from the training, so I discovered that most of them have hidden potentials, hidden potentials that if you look at every child that has been certified to be dyslexic, the child comes out with some other potentials that are inherent, things that if you really ask the child, they're written outside the box, let me use that word. Please, are you with me? 'Cause I'm worried for my network. Can you hear me? Okay, so I was saying that these children are good, and the training has really exposed me to so many of these things. But the most trying times were
Yes,
when on one or two occasions,
we
okay,
did.
the most trying times were when I had to call one or two of my classmates to ask, please, how do you handle a child like this? And then sometimes we had to report them in the class. Another, following you online made me see that some things I thought were out of natural were not out of natural. They were just things we could rub minds and then help. And I like one other last part, the part where you taught us to understand that we need to hold hands to build a child, because one person cannot be too good. And finally, creativity. I think creativity is the word. Creativity is what I picked from the training, and it's helping me already.
Very important when you're working with children with dyslexia. You just need to be creative, because there are
Yes.
kids who don't want to be boxed. I just need to find creative ways to teach them. We spoke about their potential. These kids don't only struggle with reading.
I also, Madam Happiness, I think we can continue from here. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay. Um, I have also noticed that the children that are dyslexic, some of them also suffer from complex. I don't know if you've noticed that. Some of them suffer
Okay.
from
Yeah.
complex, and then it makes them to do worse in class. So the
Yeah.
knowledge of the knowledge of this can also help, because I during the training I didn't really get that part. We didn't really talk much about complex affecting them. But have you really noticed? What have you seen in that?
Um, Now, in the Lexus children, now it's not just knowing how to difficulty in reading and writing. Some of them have
Yeah.
other difficulties too. They can't.
And I think so.
You
Go
said?
on, go on. I think
Okay,
some of this. Please go on.
I can hear you. You said you want to say something. Yeah.
No, I was saying some is caused by the teachers and then even their classmates. That's what I was trying to say. Sorry.
Okay. 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 Yes. I like this training has really exposed me to. When I see all these complexes, I just do the right thing because it's not just one. Some of them still have dysgraphia. Some of them still have dyscalculia. So you need to just marry everything together to just get the best from it. That's just it. Because if you just focus on, oh, this one doesn't know how to read, there are other things they also don't know how to do. Now, and this reduces their self-esteem as a child. And they wouldn't want to
Yes.
communicate with other children because they know they are disadvantaged, and that makes them really timid and they want to just be on their own. doing their stuff just with their teacher, but you still need to what, bring them out. Come on, let's go out and try to bring accommodations that will help them so that they can be on the same pace with the children in class. So
Okay,
I
wow.
think we still
Yes.
need to do a whole lot on that particular child to help them through so that they don't get neglected, because that also affects their reasoning while you teaching
Yes.
them. Yes.
Very important.
Because actually,
Very important.
okay, because actually, when the
Okay,
child
sister.
is already feeling that way, yes, yes, yes. When the child is feeling that way, it even affects the child's learning abilities. Madam Blessing,
Very
welcome
well.
back.
That's true. Thank you guys for taking up when I was away. You guys are indeed dyslexia helpers. You see, I told you could do this. All right, so as a roundup, so one word from you, Mr. Dominic. So happiness, something like that. Is it possible to get trained to learn dyslexia in Nigeria? Is it possible? I mean, it's possible. You're a teacher. So from your experience, is it possible? And how can they go about it? Dominic, that's the same question you would answer too.
Okay.
Okay. Yes,
Yes.
very possible. Very, very possible. Like I said, it was until I got in contact with you, I started chatting with you on Facebook, and was asking many questions about this, and that's how you linked me through what to do and how to be trained. And you told me that a fee is attached to it. So, and at that point, if not for the scholarship that I got,
Yeah.
at that point I was already planning to, save up, save up a little for it. Yes. So the opportunity is that reach out. Every educator needs to reach out. I know some educators have come to me that how do I get trained? How do I do this? Reach out to you can reach out to me. You can reach out to Miss Blessing Ingyape on Facebook, and she's going to guide you on how to go about this. Like I told you, that is not something that you just need to sit down and just say, "Oh, can I do this on my own?" Or let me just research. And you need someone to guide you. You need mentorship, someone to guide you on how to go about it. Then you can get on the training. It's just a little fee. I'm telling you, it's not that expensive for you to for what you're going to get. So it's just a little fee. I've gone to organizations that just that dyslexia, because I did this NESI training online, just exposed me to getting more jobs and more opportunities. So I think it's high time that educators come together and get on this training. Aside that, there's a mentorship on Telegram that we do every Thursday to expose us to this dyslexia, and you get the opportunity to also ask questions about dyslexia. Sorry, I don't know how to pronounce it. Dyslexia. Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
I have difficult pronunciation. So
going to
that's
have,
it.
going to have a
Yeah.
class and then have to pronounce that word. Like, and then people, I've seen different people calling
Okay.
different names. All right, Dominic, as a roundup, talk to us.
Okay. I just want all educators to know that no child is a lost child. Every child has
Yeah.
the ability to learn. Every child has the ability to learn. In fact, I saw myself arguing with one or two colleagues recently, and I think teachers in the kindergarten classes, in the nursery classes, should enroll more for trainings, because that is where it starts from. If it can be curbed at that stage, the child will grow to be a better person, and the child will not have reasons to struggle at the higher classes. So I think, as Happiness just said, meet co-educators, try to know what they've learned, try to study more, try to learn, because sincerely, what I've learned is just too much for the amount that was paid.
Okay. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, he's hanging a bit. Am I the one hanging? When it comes to network, I don't even understand anymore. But thank you so much, Mr. Dominic. He mentioned something very important, kindergarten educators. This is very important because you're key in telling us when we can step in and start helping these children. Because when you
Educated
talk
there,
about
and I am saying that
Okay, okay. Well, we're rounding off, so I think network did a good timing. But he mentioned something very important about kindergarten teachers getting to understand this. It is very important for you because at that stage, if you notice any sign, early intervention is key. The kids can get help immediately. But when you, as a kindergarten teacher, a nursery teacher, keep saying, "Oh no," and the child will catch up. The child will catch up. Primary education, where it becomes a little bit tougher. But we notice right from when they're in kindergarten, we're able to help more. Welcome, Mr. Dominic. But thank you. I believe that you are able
Thank
to
you.
what was on your heart.
Pass the
Thank you
message,
so much,
right?
Ines. Yes, for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity
Dominic,
to hear.
yeah, for sharing
Thank
your
you.
experience with
Thank
us.
you.
And yeah, happiness actually got a scholarship from us. It means that money is not even a barrier. Yes, it is not a barrier. And we have some people on
Yes.
that come on board and say, see, Miss Blessing, can I pay in installments? And when people come to me in that way, Miss Blessing, can I pay in installments? And when people that are education that want to learn. So money is not a barrier in this thing. First of all, is the heart. Because if you even follow our free materials, the Instagram live we have, the Telegram groups we have, the Facebook live, the YouTube, Dyslexia Help Africa, there is so much you will learn about dyslexia. And I know that that is where happiness started from until she finally got a scholarship to get trained for free. So you don't have an excuse, and money is not a barrier. And I love what Donny always says that in this 21st century, ignorance is not an excuse at all because there are tons of information everywhere. You can see information on the internet, and if you don't know which of the informations to even follow, here at Dyslexia Help Africa on all our platforms, always talking about dyslexia. So no excuses. All right, thank you so much for joining us. From me to you, goodbye. Happiness, thank you for being here.
Bye. Thank you.
All right. Goodbye, Mr. Dominic. Thank you for being here. Okay, I think I put him on mute and I forgot. Okay, thank you for joining us today. It is very possible to get trained in Nigeria about dyslexia so that you can help the kids in your classroom or so that you can help your parents. And these educators have mentioned very important points that I won't like to go over again. But thank you for joining me. And remember, you can always connect with us and ask your questions on our Telegram group. And I'm always there to answer them. And if you also have any question regarding our trainings and all of the services we offer at Dyslexia Help Africa, feel free to drop your questions here in the comments and we will definitely respond to them. Thank you all. Thank you, Doshima, for being here. We have Ndongi is here. We have a lot of Facebook users. Because you've not given Facebook permission, I really don't know who is here, but I want to applaud you and thank you all for being here. So for me to see your name next time on this video, there is a link that says give StreamYard the permission to post your name or something. Just give StreamYard that permission, and that is all, once and for all. At any time you're on any StreamYard show commenting, we'll be able to see your name. Okay? All right, thank you, and have an amazing weekend. Bye.